What's going on, everyone? Straight up, I thought Galaxy 2 was gonna be another letdown, like Galaxy 1, but holy shit was I wrong. This is gonna be a response to my Galaxy 1 video I made a few weeks ago where, people politely provided their opinions on me and advised me where I should stick my channel /opinions. I stand by what I said in that video. What am I, a politician now? I stand by the things I said. And maintain that Mario Galaxy was just okay. It wasn't great, it's not the best game of all time, it's not a 10 out of 10, but it's not awful. I think it rightly deserves to sit at a 7, leaning towards an 8. That being said, I saw a bunch of comments elsewhere online that the sequel, which I never played but own, was 1,000 times better than the original. I was so disappointed by the original, I never even put the sequel in until now, and okay, I was excited about it. I love Galaxy 2, and actively looked forward to playing through the rest of it. Sometimes that'll happen to me when I find a game I really love. I'll wake up, remember that I have it, remember where I was, and feel a rush thinking about picking it up again. For what it's worth, the last game that did that for me was the latest Momodora release. Ooh. I'd like to try and break down why. Let's start, fittingly, with the start of the game. First of all, you don't have a long extended cutscene you need to sit through to get the game going. You get Mario 64'd and Peach is abducted while you're on the way over. You quickly, that's important, meet some Lumas, and then we're off to the races. Let's start with the most obvious one, the inclusion of Yoshi. He's front and center on the box and shows up right in the first world. You start down this path and see all these spiny plants. This is getting spooky, right? There's nothing you can do to them, so you just walk on by and happen upon this little Yoshi egg hanging out right there. Yoshi has no problem eating these spiky boys, so the level flips completely around to everything being afraid of you, rather than you trying to avoid all of them. You get a cute little mini game here where you need to start spitting the enemies at glass domes to smash them to get through the rest of the level. And that's not all. You can use Yoshi to pull these platforms out of the walls to climb up this structure, but I've saved the best for last. There are these little grapple points that you use to flip Yoshi around, chaining the flips into jumps. It feels really cool to do this repeatedly to advance through the levels. The cloud power-up is an absolute blast. You can do a bunch of tricks with it, and there's something magical about the way Nintendo designs power-ups in general, too. Let's take the clouds. So I'm climbing, but I realize I need to drop down a bit. I look at the clouds I just made and think, hey, I bet if I ground-pounded that, I'd be able to push right through. I gave it a whirl, and what do you know? It worked! There wasn't any guide on how to do that. All the little pop-up said was to generate the 3 clouds by flicking the Wiimote. It's just a natural thing to try while experimenting. That they accounted for. Anyway, back to the clouds. You're supposed to move left at this point, but I looked over at the tree and said, hey, I bet I could hop over there from here, and Bob's your uncle, there I go. As a reward, I get hella coins! There's also these new Lumas that want coins rather than star bits, though I didn't have enough to get it to transform, but it's always cool to see more variety, since I thought feeding the Lumas was a weak mechanic in the original. You still have your spin jump, which allows you to get a little more movement in the air and serves as a solid melee attack against enemies. Waggling the Wiimote isn't my favorite thing to do to trigger it, as sometimes I'll be sweeping my cursor around to pick up star bits and accidentally make Mario attack, but it's never caused me to lose a life or anything. I feel like overall, the controls are still not as tight as previous entries, like Sunshine, but I think they needed to be somewhat looser, as you're not always going to be grounded, and flip around perspective so fast, you'd make a philosophy professor crash out and quit. Our first world boss is this big ol' snake with these huge balls along its body. To attack, it's gonna follow you around trying to bite down on you. After a while, it'll slam its head into the planet and start crawling through it, though getting stuck briefly at each section, giving you an opportunity to attack. The goal here is to whack each one with your spin to take it down. Unlike G1, where the early bosses were just basically playing volleyball with me, I'm enjoying this a lot more. Another fun complication here is that the little world you're on is small and the snake's long body can wrap around it and block out your view. So start frantically running around blind. I can't see! I can't see! And how about these 2D gravity changing sections? You're basically inside an ant farm moving from left to right between gravity zones that either push you up or shoot you down to the ground. Unsurprisingly, when you switch between zones, your controls get reversed. It's really cool though, as you'll start doing things never done before outside the Galaxy games, like the upside down wall jumps and grabs. For a totally new mechanic designed for these games, it makes sense right away, which speaks again to how thoughtfully designed the controls are. I love the way the starship looks at you as you fly off. Hey, where are you going? Next on the agenda is an obstacle course where you force feed Yoshi a ghost pepper and he speeds off while screaming. Yoshi is running so fast here you're actually able to scale walls, and that's not just the gravity mechanic at play. If you try to scale a wall without Yoshi being a light, he'll instantly lose traction and crash to the ground. Luckily, the final obstacle doesn't have any pits, so you can try over and over to grab that pesky star. I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun with the variety in these stages. It's not the hardest thing in the world either once you get a handle on how fast Yoshi can bank back and forth. Thanks to my insatiable thirst for coins, I was finally able to make one of these Lumas transform and get my hands on a hidden star. This was really cool, but I was kicked out of the level and had to redo it without any warning, which bummed me out a bit. I know it's a nitpicky thing, but I would have liked the option to keep going versus just getting booted back. This boulder upgrade is amazing. When you transform, Mario shoots off in whatever direction he's facing and bulldozes everything he touches. This little area is really clever. There are gates all around this platform and you need to clear the enemies inside of it in order to unlock the star underneath this dome. Watch out though, if you smack into one of the gates it'll disappear, meaning you're clear to fly right off if you're not careful and start spamming the ability. I had a couple real close calls. Oh, and we get to face off against our next boss here, this dorky looking armadillo thing. As usual with this game's minor bosses, we need to smack its backside with whatever power we have at the moment, this time being the boulder. As he gets more upset with us though, he'll stop rolling around and start rolling back and forth, leading to almost like a bullfight as we bait him into getting dizzy and take him out from there. Rather than the stingray we rode in the first one, this time we're on a bird that is unable to fly. Gliding is the name of the game here. The controls are similar to the Stingray, but now we have the ability to tilt up to move slightly up and down to nosedive. I was sweating a bit during some of the tighter sections, and to be honest, I'm not really sure how that didn't count as a hit, but I am not complaining. Lastly, I just want to touch on the game's navigation a bit more. In the prior game, you selected a dome and looked through a telescope within it at a galaxy which was made up of little planets on rings. Each of the planets represented a world you could enter. In this one, you move along a set path, a la Mario 3, and work through the game world by world. The more stars you get, the more worlds and paths open up to you. Sometimes, you can even find pickups along forks in the road once you complete certain levels. Rather than a big home area then, you have this little floating Mario head that slowly expands with islands around it as you meet more friends and unlock more powers. You can hang out with Yoshi, or go visit Captain Toad, and in the engine room, you can take a look at all the powers you've unlocked so far. Hey now, come on! After you take down Snek, you move to the second world and gain an opportunity to zoom out on the map screen and pick which area you want to move to. I really like this big boy. Oh, I don't know what to do. They both say yes. While Rosalina was mysterious and ethereal, which was great, bro is quippy and sarcastic, almost like he's aware he's in a game. Thanks for checking out my video, everyone! I recently played through an awesome fan game based on the original Castlevania, which you can download for yourself right now if you're interested. And I recently picked up a junky PS2 from eBay and cleaned it up while reminiscing about that console and the games that defined it. Bye now!